Welcome back to Captain of Industry. My name is Ninos, and this is the next episode of our tutorial here. Wow, these are lazy trucks here. Right, so we are going to continue on our colony and factory, whatever we want to call it. And, each episode will have a different theme to it. So previously we had a theme with our farming and just structuring a bit, and then getting the chicken farms up and running, as well as going over here to the wheat farming, and we have that here, and we make lots of bread, so that's glorious. Now I do know that I should also be doing tofu and soybeans and all the other things, but there's always a long list of things to do, and the choice is always what is the most important thing to do. So for us today, let's have a look. What I want to focus on is actually recycling, because I am starting to dislike the unity here. The unity is starting to drop a bit. Of course, we can do household goods. We absolutely will, not the distant future, but this part, -9 from water pollution, and it's only going to increase. That is not good. We want to get that away. And the other part is that if we look over here on the maintenance, they actually have a recyclable setup here for maintenance. And that means we can cut down a lot on our iron and our copper and our glass production by recycling it. And there are a number of unity things. Also here we have a lot of stuff at this location as well. So what we want to do today is actually working on wastewater cleaning and also working on the recycling. So let's see if we can do that. First thing we're going to do is, since we want to build more stuff, we want to expand our factory, then our housing population, and we might even, since we have better food, we're going to be doing one growth boost here. And please remind me in a bit, because I don't want this to just go all crazy. And I actually need to move you, don't I? I think I do. I think I do need to move you. You're kind of in the way. And let's see. We have some fuel saver and maintenance saver. Yeah, that's fine. We'll take you out, because I need this space for the wastewater plant production here. So we'll take this out. That means we don't have the benefits of the unity production here in the meantime. Expand housing, expand population. What we also need to do is, since we are going to build up a lot of stockpile here for these things, you can see we are kind of down on the stockpile here. I also want to make sure that we have better concrete, because concrete is actually not producing fast enough. This is taking 3. I upgraded this to Mark 2 concrete mixer, and they can then consume 3 per minute, and this can only produce 3 per minute. So this has been already designed so that I can do here and I can do here, and then we can get the stuff in. Very, very simple. That is not a coincidence that I have built it in a way that is easy to upgrade. And let me see, and that will be coal going in here and coal going in here, and lime going from the bottom pipe belt thing and here. All right, so that should work. We will need to upgrade some belts, such as this one need to be upgraded, because each of these take, no, it doesn't take much. 9 times 4 is 54. 9, what? 18, 36. It's not much. Here though, this one will definitely need to get another one. And here the question is, should I make this same one just overuse slag, or should I try to use the gravel one? Let's actually try using the gravel, also to show to the disbelievers that, yep, you can easily actually do... is it connected? There we go. You can easily do mixed belts in this game, and they are quite forgiving. Usually I hate mixed belts, but in this case, actually, they are not a problem at all. This will absolutely need to be upgraded for sure. And with that built, this will be just some rock. Get that in here. And then I think I'll just upgrade the whole damn thing. And nothing over here. Let's... Nope. Nothing big here. In terms of sand will be 6 of each. And we can see that we have both of the recipes, and when we get stuff in, then it should be good. This is faster. And is anything working? Yeah. Oh, we do need here and here. Forgot that. Right, so that's the concrete updated. That gets us from producing basically 48 to 96 per minute, and that means we will actually stockpile it, because this is coming out at 60 per second minute. Right, so that was the first thing. Population is good. I also need to rebuild my... Oh, that's a lot of things here. But that's kind of what we want to deal with. I'll build the nice house up here. overlooking the city. Get that quick built. Large tree harvest, no trees to harvest. That's okay. We'll just get the rest of the trees on the island on your to-do list. There we go. Should be busy for a while. Good. All right. Then let's take a look at what we want. We want to go down here and we'll use this space. Now, I will be building it parallel with the existing one because as soon as we don't have a way to deal with wastewater, then we get cholera. And cholera is pretty miserable and you will lose 100 or 200 people here. So not great. We have to keep in mind also that we don't want the workers to go crazy. We have 75 months. That's perfect. All right, so let's start doing some design. We are going to get water in from this side, so let's keep that in mind. The funny thing is, like, this can be rotated. You can see here, rotate or flipped. I'd like to have it like this so that the water comes from the left, but alas, that is not the case. No way of flipping it once it's placed. That is what it is. Right, so what we need is, let me just actually get some space. The key ingredient here is going to be the wastewater plant. And I can probably build it in here. How close do we want to build it? Let's build it like this. So we also have to have a choice here. How big do we make it? This one is making up to 82. So that is with 1,500 people is probably giving us 80 water. This one can handle 160 water, sludge water. So that means up to 3,000 population is this designed for. I think that's pretty fair. The next thing we want to do is make sure that we are not guaranteeing or not promising that we can do this, because if we look at it, it needs sand and chlorine. If they suddenly don't come in, or if the sludge can't get out fast enough, then it jams, then it goes, and we have cholera again. It's all about that cholera. So we need to make sure that we have some kind of overflow as well. So even though we just prioritize it in here, we're still going to have some kind of overflow out into the water. And that's obviously going to be too close, and it'll complain if I start building it here. No, it'll complain as soon as I build it, then it'll complain about it, and then force me to spend 10 unity to dig it out or something. Right, but this part, now we have the wastewater coming in, we need water coming, we have water coming out, which means we can also alleviate a lot of the water demand here. Basically half of the water demand. So we need to make sure that we look at inputs and outputs. This water will also go into some kind of splitter and things here, because we're going to get water in from this side. And then we're going to get water, hold on. It's probably better to have here. And then jump over and go in. Yep. And we could also, since it is going up, we could go up and over and in. Does that enable me to get this out easily? Yes, it does. So that is definitely a thing. Right. This is going to be the sludge output. And what else do we need? Sand and chlorine input. They are coming from here. These will just be boxes. And those boxes will have very high priority because they must go in. Sand is something we have, so not a problem. Chlorine is something we do not have. So that's something we absolutely need to get built. And it's actually, chlorine is actually going to be a bit more complicated than it seems. Do we want to just break for the chlorine? Yeah, no, not really. We'll do the other thing. The sludge is going into, not here, no, not a fermentation, and here, an anaerobic digester. There. Sludge goes in, fuel gas, and compost comes out. And they will consume 12 each, and this one can do a maximum of 24. So I need 2 of these bad boys here, and they will be hooked up like this. Okay, should not be a problem. You are going to go in here, and then you're going to go in there. All right. That will mean that we have out here 2 outputs. One is going to be in a storage like so. I'm wondering if I could sneak this. Doesn't matter. And the other will be fuel gas, which goes into It's actually like this. You need to go up. And there. Connected. And this. I guess that doesn't work. So we'll go here. Now, what are we going to use the compost for? At this moment, nothing really. And what are we using the fuel gas for? Nothing really. So we actually have a few new things that we need to deal with because we can't allow this to be full. If it runs full, then the whole process stops after a while. So we need to make sure that there are warnings if it's full. Oh man, I'm doing this way too early. I might need to shuffle things around. Let's actually do this part here. Let's have it. There, that looks better. All right, so that is a full build of all we need. Yes, and it even has an overflow here, so that prioritize to go in here, but then the other one. So this build is complete. What are we thinking? We're thinking... I'm thinking whether I should take the whole thing and move it further this way. That would be nice, but it's also nice to actually have it at this moment. Let's see if with this part... Oh, that is absolutely brilliant. All right, that settles it. We're going to do this. And you can then merge in here and then rotate. Perfect. That means this is ready, except we should not get started on this until we make sure that we have glass. Should never be empty. And even to the point where I'm going to get it at a higher priority. I am so mortally afraid of this. And then chlorine, which is going to be a problem because we don't have it. And we don't really know how to get it. Well, we do. Let's have a look at chlorine. Let's see. There. There's only one way to make it, and that is from brine. So that should be easy because we just have several places where we make brine. Except if we look at this thing here. Yeah, it's working a bit. Not a lot, a bit. So this could be a production facility. It actually is. Because this is not generating enough, and we are always consuming water for our power production. So that seems like the best place. The other alternative is to build it down here where we already have a brine location here. But this is not always working because of the massive water reservoir. So this is seems to be the safer option. So let's do this. And then first and foremost, make sure that it gets oops, that is definitely not what we want. There and here. Let's get this one so nothing jams. We can't have the water jamming for our power production. And then we need a box. Mine controller is missing something, some designation. Okay. Factory here. We'll get this one while I figure this out. Where are you going, my friends? Yeah. Ah, right. Okay. Okay. So that's actually just taking out this part here. Just casually taking out. Now they'll take out another plate. Okay. But go back to the design. Is it working? Not really. Come on. This is the problem, right? This is the problem. Like it has enough water and now it even fills up there. Then we're going to build the next part, which will be super easy. That will just go in here. This will do a brine build and then put it into there. That will hopefully be chlorine. And I want a warning if it's empty. There. That should be enough. Please prioritize this. Please get started. Come on. What could we do? Oh, right. There's another thing I don't want to do. Let's see. This line here is coming in as a primary feeder line, but this primary feeder line is coming from over here. And you can see these are actually draining and they shouldn't be. And if we look at this, this is going down. So what I'd actually like to do is shut down this pipe. It doesn't do anything in power. It just is used as a backup line. Actually, maybe I'll even make it into a backup line down here so that I don't prioritize it, but I prioritize everything else. That makes sense? Yes. So now, no. Yeah, this line is now the only thing that isn't prioritized on the input side. Let's have a look. Basically the priority, I really shouldn't have it. I can't make it lower priority. I can either priority or not priority. And I have to do it this way. And then I just have to pause it. So I'm basically going to say that we're going to get enough water between this little thing here will be the primary. And there is a comment about, oh, you need a tank before this. I don't actually need a tank because there's at least 40 plus 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. They can store that plus whatever is in the pipe. That's going to be enough to sort of catch a rainfall, fill it up here, and then smash it in as it's using. There we go. We have fluid storage. I don't care if this is full or empty. I care if this one is full or empty. We have chlorine, and I hope a truck can get over here. They probably can. Moving on. Moving back to this. Now that means we have sand is okay. Chlorine is okay. Compost, we don't know what to do with that, and fuel gas. Fuel gas is up here. I can actually take a fuel gas in here and then make it as allow it to go in by just making it here. It is actually designed for allowing this there, and I'll even prioritize it and then make you into a fuel gas storage. And if this somehow ends up being full, then let me know. Otherwise, don't let me know. And what happens with this one is I am not going to request it. I am just simply going to let it be passively here, because then I'll be pushing it away from the other location. I think that's more advantageous. Instead of having the other one demand, then I'll have this one push. That should make it more easy to prioritize. Then compost. How much compost are we making? We're not making a lot of compost, so I might not actually have to deal with this just now. So let's build all of this. I love that something I'm just panic about how critical it is, and then my conclusion is, oh, I probably don't need to deal with it right now. Let's just not deal with it. And I will go here, up, and into this location. I do need to take the other one out. And you'll be going here. And until we have these coming in, level 5, then I can't really replace the other one. So that is first little challenge. Oh, low supply of sand. Well, that's this one. And low supply of chlorine. That's also this one. So that's okay. They should be coming in. Let's wait for them to come in and then see how we are ready to get started. Yeah, they are. Both the sand trucks and the... Oh, no. That fuel truck is not what I wanted. Ugh. I dislike that all of these have to be manually set to off. Otherwise, they start doing weird stuff. All right, we got a bit of chlorine and we got a bit of sand. How much chlorine do we need? We need 4 per iteration. So now this is ready to go. I can hurry up and delete. I'm going to delete this part. Here and that part. That will obviously be taken out quickly. And connected upgrade. What could possibly go wrong now? This needs to be toggled because now it's coming from over here. All right, do we have water inbound? Yes, we do have water inbound, so look at that smooth transition. I'm going to prioritize the water coming from the water sewage thing. You can see it filling up with sewage, wastewater, and it fills up to 80. And then it iterates for the first one. It's only going to run at, well, a bit more than half speed because our population has grown a bit. I have also disabled the growth. I'll just leave the normal growth available. I think we'll be controlling it. I don't want even sort of a small increase. We have 245. Let's keep it at that for now. I still think that if you take the growth path, that should be using a constant supply of rubber. I'm just saying it. I think that would be appropriate. But, oh well. That is, this is working. Let's see if the water comes out. What we will see is that there's a constant water supply from the water facility. So I don't need a buffer tank in between, because just the internal buffer means, and the priority here means that as it's consuming continuously, will flow out. And these are working. Yes, working. And we have a tiny... No, we haven't got anything here. Okay, well, I guess it needs 2 iterations of sludge and then going out to both of those. Good. Fluid storage has low water. That is interesting. And by interesting, I mean horrifying. Huh. That maybe means that this has to be there. I mean, are we dropping? Where is that going to? Ah, that goes to all of that. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, that means you have to be coming in here as well. I'm still going to make it the lowest priority of them all. Yeah. Water consumption is a lot. It just is. And it also increases with power consumption, so that is something we have to keep in mind. Back to this part. Do we have the first bits here? 2. Yes. And 10. Good. So it iterated one. That was perfect. All right. Now, next up. Next up is about the waste management. So I'm going to start by deleting my waste management because, of course I do. That was actually not a good idea. Quick deliver again. I'll take this out and I'll take these 2 out. Because I wanted to restructure this in a different way. So that needs to be prioritized. If we look at our building, other service buildings, we have a recyclable collection now, and we have a biomass collection. I will set up the biomass collection right here. And I need you going away. Now I need both of them to stack up. That's the reason why I didn't want to delete it, because I actually need... I'm a bit worried about these kind of things. Like anything that is a potential for just wrecking my base, then I will be a bit careful about it. Maybe that's just the way it is. How can this? You will be off and off, and you will be waste. I don't know. Waste will come in by itself. And it's transporting, and I'll delete you. You should never be importing, but I want to see that it actually changes. There we go. It sets it up. I delete it. This will be notified if 75, because that's very dangerous. Then I will go to priority 5. That seems to be a good high demand. Then I'm going to build my biomass collection, and I'll do biomass exactly not at all like that, because we don't really know how much biomass we want. And let's have a look at biomass. Ooh. Let's look at biomass. Biomass is not useful. I can use it for burning in coal burners here and there, but I'm just going to convert it into compost, because then we'll have a few sources of compost that we can then take a look at later on. Yes. So let's do that in a mixer. Mixer can only do 6 compost per minute. I just don't like that it's minute. It doesn't feel like minutes, but that's because we're running at... Oh, wow, we're running at slow mode. That sucks. And we're not going to get anything done. And press F to let it slide next to them. And I will do biomass to compost. Copy, paste, and I will get here and here. Oh no, that's not how we do builds around here. So biomass is not actually very interesting, to be honest. This will be... no, it's not biomass, it's compost. And again, leave it, get rid of it, warn me if it's more than 75. No, actually just warn me if it's full, because then the other one can still be empty behind it. And we built that. That was the easy one to build. So that means we are now, instead of getting so much waste, previously everything was waste. Now some part of the waste will actually come out as biomass, which we will then recycle into compost and then use for fertilizer later on. That means our generation of waste should be less moving forward. And I will also make sure that you don't fill up. That's going to be theoretical. Now the last part we can do is also an attachment here. That is going to be the Recyclables Collection. We'll build that here. And that means some of the waste will now come out as recyclables. And that means we have a location here for recyclables, we have a location here that provides recyclables, and we have a location here that provides recyclables. So what is the first thing we want to do? Hey, let's upgrade these to the next level. Here, I will delete this. Why? Because I need the stuff on this belt. I will now upgrade here because I need you to be able to make the next tier. What is the next tier? The next tier is going to request, come on, get it. Here, that takes 12 of the normal of the yellow ones that you are producing 12 and then produces 6 of these ones. But it also needs a lot of glass. Well, luckily someone has been kind enough to make room for a glass branch right here. It's going to go to level 1. So it can go over and then in. Then I'll also be building a branch here. But I don't want to do that right now because I will have in my stockpile here, those 46, I need to make sure that they get used up. So yeah, let's do that. And also another important thing, you leave this open. Does that make any sense? I'll actually be, first of all, you know what? This is why we needed all of the resources. So they will all need to be upgraded. But I don't want to upgrade them until they are ready. Right, so I need to build lab equipment. I will need to get truck import on, so I can import the junk here. And then we need to wait for the glass to come in. Once the glass is in, then we can make lab equipment. I'm even going to boost this so I consume too much of the lab equipment compared to what you can produce. You will also need to be online. See, we're down to we just spent 100 workers there, and you are. If I upgrade, we need to have 20 of the lab equipment in order to do an upgrade. So all I can do is just sit around, wait until this one goes up to 20, and then click the button here. First one completed, and I want to wait until I can actually complete it with Unity. Otherwise, I'll spend resource or trucks on driving. No need for that. The second one upgraded. We just hit a bit of an iron deficit here because they were digging mainly in here where there's mostly dirt. So I just redirected some of them to this location. Now, while we wait for the last one to come in, we have to, or we don't have to, but I think we'll find a way to get, let's see, where is it? Where is my, oh, right, of course, they need to do like this. They don't even know that there's an output. There we go. Now there's an output. 1, 2. It goes up and it goes over. And goes up. Right. So that is going to be where I want my inputs. 1, 2. And then we'll just kind of figure out where that fits. So I also want, this is also going to be an output. 1. Hold on. Connect and then go 1, 2. Yes. So we basically want to find a location where these connect and then build whatever we need at this little point here. Yep. That is going to be a good location, and I'll also be able to take this, drag this closer. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is, since I don't have stockpiles in either of those locations, I want to make sure that we actually have all of those outputs. How do we do that? Well, I think we'll start with just getting all of them into a splitter here, and then getting all of them into a big box. Is that really that kind of box? Is this? Oh, it's a U-shape. Oh, of course. Of course, it didn't make many sense otherwise. This has to be like that. Get that U-shaped and get a U-shaped merger in here. Luckily, we have the privilege of being able to just design it and then move it around. Now, we need a big thing as well. This is a very expensive thing. It needs 45 people working on this. And I'm just going to flip it here. And I need it. I'll do it like this. And I might regret it. Inbound and inbound. So we can now get up to 120 inbound. We're not going to have more than 120 inbound. We'll need to get some outputs on the other side. And that will be, you can see here, iron, copper, gold, glass, and something magical we don't know yet. Maybe uranium? I don't know. Scrap uranium? That doesn't seem like a thing you just throw in your normal waste bin and then hope that it gets recycled. So what we need is some stockpiles here, and there is one way to do it correctly, and that is like this, because then they will all be pretty close aligned. And I can even get one closer, smash it in. It connects to all of them, right? It did not connect at all to any of them, didn't it? Did it? No. Okay, that was so much for me saying that that was the right way to do it. There we go. That's how it is done. There. Now there's a connection, and there's a connection, and a connection, and a connection. Since it's a connection, they can go out pretty quickly. No placeable to dump product. What dumping products do we need? Oh, really? Huh. Why not? You should be able to dump out here, right? Yeah, you should be able to dump out there. Or even out here. Why are they not doing that then? Extremely busy. Well, let's get extremely busy sorted by just throwing some more trucks at the problem. That's how we deal with extremely busy around here. Alright, that is good. And that'll fix itself. And then let's see, where do we want it? I'll just copy and hold shift just to make sure that we get things right. This seems like a great place to build it. There? Nope. Here. And I will then get let's try from here and up. Gotta get it right. There, that's perfect, and that's perfect. And the only thing we need is from 1, 2, going back. Oh, come on. Okay, this is in the interest of making things aligned. Then, well, that's gonna be it. And copy settings. Oops. That is not correct. You should not be panic emptying. You should definitely be panic emptying. What? That's weird. These two just go out. And get these two in. And over from here, I'm going to take this location and go 1, 2. No. I have to make sure that it can connect and then go 1, 2. That'll go over to this location, and I will be hooking up everything else. And let's connect it. This toggle direction. Great. This is inbound. This is emptying. Good. Works. All of this is now done. Unfortunately, I can't make this one anytime soon because it requires a monstrous 400 of those. So I can build everything else and then just basically try to get it sorted into this box while everything else gets done. That is okay for me. All right, this is going to be a long and arduous journey to get all of this built. That's why I sped this up. We're going to build this, and then once we get a bit further, I will be setting up some designs for how to actually use it. Because if we just stockpiled here, we've done nothing. We have to get the scrap iron in to the other builds as well. And so it's finally time to get this one operational. It took 400. It takes a lot of power. It takes a lot of people, and it takes a lot of maintenance as well. But all of those things, it just adds up. So this one is currently only 35% active, which is not a lot. So we have to go over here and see if we have any recycling edicts. Look at that, 20% and 20% more. Then let's ditch the fuel saver and the maintenance saver for now, because we rather want to get the recycling going. So what that means is basically for every one recyclable we get inbound, we get 70% outbound, and that will just go in here. Now we have built up our iron scrap, and look at that. Let's follow that coal one or copper one with the copper scrap. And I'm sure that some people will wonder why the copper scrap is orange and not green, when the ore and the crushed ore is green. Well, that's because it is oxidized. When copper gets oxidized, it's green, and that means the raw stuff you pick out of the ground is green, while the scrap is old wires and cables and drainage pipes and that kind of thing. So that's not eroded. If you look at roofs on castles, that's copper roof. They are also hundreds of years old, and they will turn green. So that's why they are orange and green. I like that. You can say that isn't it just confusing that oh no. Isn't it confusing that it's different colors? Yeah, but they are trying a bit for the realism, so we appreciate that. All right, let's have a look at what I did here. We have scrap coming in, and the scrap is now competing with the iron ore, and they are coming into completely mixed belts. This is prioritized for the iron, and this is not something I would usually do, but Captain Industry is actually really good at managing it because the internal buffer here is separate for each thing. It'd also be really nice if I actually did this. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. So, and we also can do a drag box, actually. That's pretty neat. Did it work? Yes. We got iron scrap up top, and we get the iron ore afterwards. So if they have both, then they will be using iron scrap. No matter what sort of mixture it comes in, as a bit of this and a bit of that, it'll either be able to make iron scrap or it'll make iron ore. So as long as it can always make one of them, then by all means, make one of them. And then consume. So this means if we have enough scrap, we are going to just saturate the iron and the steel build with iron scrap and have that being what we are going to be used. That means we will now start soon-ish see that we are using a lot less iron, glass, and copper. An interesting perspective. Let's have a look at the copper. How I did that? I just merged it into a splitter and I prioritized the ore here. There's one that can't go. I bet it's because it wants to go directly to one of the... Yes. Well. If it isn't you again. It's always this part. Don't ever do those kind of things. High storage of compost. Okay, I guess we need to deal with compost soon. I'm going to deal with it in the worst possible manner right now. And then we'll just go, you know what? That's something we'll deal with next time. For sure. Ooh, look at that. Spinning. I don't think that's intended. But maybe when all this gets done, it'll figure out what it wants to do. Cool. So what we've done now is we have built... Let's recap. We have built a wastewater facility production here. And how does that affect our Unity and our health? There is now no water pollution at all. That is perfect, and we have much more healthy population. Plus 20 is juicy and good. We'll get better when we get medicines and stuff like that. What we also did is we built this recycling facility, and look how quickly it actually processes all of this through here. And I am going to run a lot of the recycling edicts from now on. That means we are going to need a lot more Unity because I want to run recycling edicts as much as possible. It gets really expensive for the next tier. We've also, on top of all the other things, we've actually also got science, the next tier, available so that we can actually go in and, well, you know, research more recycling edicts if we feel so inclined. Then we've taken our iron part, prioritizing the scrap. We have done our copper, prioritizing the scrap, and the broken glass was already designed for prioritizing the scrap already in the beginning, from the beginning, so that is not a problem there. And that means we have a much more sustainable, recyclable base as it is now, and we can start working on, well, the next things. And at that moment, come on. All right, well, that's just going to be how we wrap up this episode. A little derpy truck. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching and following and all of your encouragement. I really appreciate all the lovely comments. If you want to see more, then you can also, of course, subscribe to the channel, but you can also come on over to Twitch on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. Central European Time. I am streaming Captain of Industry there, and we have a different base that is much further progressed in... yeah, it's towards it, so that's where I'm doing new designs and coming up with things, and, well, it's a bit more ad hoc. Of course, if you want to support the channel and the work I do here, then I do have a Patreon that is linked in the description below if you feel so inclined. And thank you very much to everyone who is pledging and supporting in all sorts of ways. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.